Hi everyone, I'm Joe and I'm the founder of Rocca Business, and I'm here today to give you a brief tutorial on how to use our lessons. The platform I'm going to pretend to be teaching on today is Zoom, since that is the platform I see most teachers using for their online teaching. And it's also really great because it has a lot of cool features like the drawing feature. And it's also available for download in China, which means if your student is located in China, then they can also use this platform to have class with you. Okay, so to get started in Zoom, I'm going to bring my mouse down so that I can to the bottom of the screen so that I can see the toolbar. Now, here's a couple of really great features in Zoom. You can record your lesson so that you can send it to parents and students afterwards. Um, but the main feature I want to point out is the share screen, which is actually how you're going to be teaching your lessons. So that big green share screen button in the middle is what you're going to want to click on. So I'm just going to click on that now, and a window is going to pop up. It's going to ask you which screen you want to share. And I want to share my browser window so that you can now see my Google Chrome browser where it has my free trial lessons page already pulled up. I highly recommend having this page already pulled up so that your students don't see like your Facebook or anything weird. All right, so once I click that though, you can also see that I'm now in a little window on the side of your screen. And if you have any students, they will also be in a little window below you. Now, you will also notice that I'm using Google Chrome for this, and that also these lessons are made using, using Google Slides. I know Google's not available in China, but because you are screen sharing and the student is not actually trying to access Google in any way, it's really a non-issue. So don't worry if you're using Google Chrome, don't worry that these are made with Google Slides. It's a non-issue because the student is not accessing Google themselves. You are just sharing with them these Google Slides, which do not have any inappropriate content on them. All right, so now that I have my browser open and my screen shared, I'm going to just scroll down in my window to whatever lesson I want to teach. And I'm going to zoom in to make it maybe a bigger size for me and my student, however big or small I want it to be. And then I can start teaching my lesson by just clicking through the slides here. If there is a video on the slide, you may have to click it a couple times to get past it, or you can also just click on the video to play it directly. But I'll make you listen to that. All right, so another feature we have in these Google Slides is if you click on these three dots here, you can also turn on a laser pointer. This is great if you want to draw your students' attention to any content. Maybe you want to circle this and be like, my name is. So you're asking your student what their name is, and you're drawing their attention to the sentence that they're supposed to be using. At this level, the A2 level, they might not actually be able to read yet, so it might not be relevant, but it'll become really important as you continue down to these more difficult lessons. Also, a quick note on these lessons, if you're starting in maybe the A2 lesson and you realize that it's too easy, you can always scroll on down, start the next level lesson instead with your student, and click to wherever you want to begin that lesson instead. If you realize that the A2 level is maybe a bit too difficult, you can scroll up and start with the A1 level instead. So this is also a great pre-assessment tool to see kind of what level your student is at. All right, another feature I want to show you with these Google Slides is, again, if you click on these three dots, open speaker notes, it'll come up with a little window that'll show you, one, how long you've been on this page, which you can pause and reset and then click resume. And then you can time your lessons that way for yourself. And you'll also notice that you can't see this screen that I can see, which means your student won't be able to see it either. But it has a timing feature and it also shows notes on each slide. So whatever slide you're on is a slide that's going to pop up, and then you can navigate in between the different notes for different slides. And if you don't know what to do on a slide, or maybe you want to see what extension activity is suggested for that slide, you can just open those speaker notes, go to whatever slide you're on, and you can see any notes about that slide, instructions, extensions, and more. All right, now, ending class. Once you've gone through all the content, I'm not actually going to click through all of it because it's quite long. What you're going to do is you're going to first stop sharing your screen. That's the big red button at the top. Okay, and that'll take you back to Zoom with your student. And you can have a little chat if you want to. Maybe your student was trying to tell you something in class and you have no idea what they were saying. You can have the chat boxes on the side of Zoom, again, by going down to that toolbar and then translate it quickly in Google Translate and then try to help them actually say it in English and then answer them. So you can have a bit of a conversation with your student here if you want. And then once your lesson is done, you just click end, the big red button that says end, and that'll end your lesson. If you've been recording a lesson, it'll automatically convert into an MP4 file so that you can easily send it and do with it as you wish. And that's it. I hope you found this tutorial instructive and helpful, and I hope that I showed you that these slides are very easy to use with your students. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to message me. Send me an email at info@roccabusiness.com. And that's it for today. Thank you and happy teaching.